Let's go ahead and install Jenkins on an Ubuntu virtual machine. So within Google, I just search for Jenkins download, and I'm just going to go with the first search, which is download and deploy Jenkins. So it gives you a lot of options. So you have two different types of releases in Jenkins. So we have the stable LTS version as well as the weekly releases. So basically speaking, LTS is a long-term support release with focus on stability and security. It's going to receive bug fixes and security updates for an extended period. Compared to this, the weekly releases are nothing but frequent releases with the latest features and bug fixes. It is most suitable for those who are seeking the most up-to-date version, but potentially less stable and less secure. So if you see here, you have the option for both of them. You can decide which one you want to use. If you scroll down, it gives you the options. If you see, it has a lot of options for both the weekly one as well as the LTS version. So LTS version is currently 2.462.1 and the weekly version is 2.472. And you have a lot of options which you can choose from. If you want to deploy this in a public cloud like Azure, AWS, Oracle, or Google, you can choose the options as well. So let me just scroll up. I would like to install this on an Ubuntu virtual machine. So I can directly click it over here, or I'll just see what are the hardware, software requirements, and then install it. So as discussed in one of the earlier sessions, we'll just go with the minimum hardware requirement because I'm just doing this for a training purpose. I'm having a virtual machine which has around 4 gigabytes of RAM and it has 2 CPU cores, which should be more than enough for this training. And if you want to install this on a Debian or an Ubuntu thing, it gives you both the LTS and the weekly release options. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose the LTS one. It has a couple of commands which is going to download the Jenkins public key. It's going to verify the public key. It's going to update the packages. And of course, it's going to install Jenkins as well. Okay, so let me just copy this LTS commands. Let me switch over to my Visual Studio Code. So here I'm already logged in to my virtual machine. So I'm currently running this as root. And the host name of this virtual machine is Jenkins Controller 1. The reason being is I'm going to use this for installing and managing the Jenkins controller. So I just named it appropriately. So let me quickly paste the content and I'll just use -y so that, it just accepts and installs Jenkins. So let's give it a couple of seconds. So I'll just pause this till it gets completed. Okay, as you can see here, the installation is completed. It took around 20 seconds to run those commands. So let us quickly, check the status of Jenkins. So we can simply use systemctl status Jenkins. And currently, if you see, the status is failed. Okay, and it's saying failed to start Jenkins service. Jenkins continuous integration server. So it doesn't give us more details like why it has failed. So I'm also going to make use of journalctl to check the logs. So I'm just going to say journalctl -u Jenkins, and it has a lot of logs. So let me just stop this. So if I scroll up, these are the logs. So again, it says failed to start Jenkins service, the same log which you have seen earlier. But if you see, there is one more log over here. So if you see this line, it says that Jenkins failed to find a valid Java installation. So Jenkins requires a Java installation in order to run. So we don't have Java installed on this machine. So I can quickly do a quick Java -version. And as you can see here, it could not find Java command and it's asking me to install one by giving me various options. So a Java version is required. So you can install Java, but the thing is you need to know which version of Java needs to be installed. Okay, so let me go back to the browser. And if you just scroll up in the same page, so you have an option for installing Java as well for the Ubuntu and the Debian machines. And here, it also mentions that Jenkins requires Java to run, but it does not support all the versions. All the Java versions are not compatible with Jenkins. So to check the compatibility thing, you can just open this in a new tab. And if you see here, it's going to give you the supported Java versions and the release type, LTS and weekly. And if you say in most of them, Java 17 is supported in the latest versions as well as in the previous versions. So we'll go ahead and install Java 17. And the same thing is also available in the Jenkins documentation. So in this documentation, if you follow the steps, it's going to update your packages, install OpenJDK version 17, and it's going to just print the version. So I'll just copy this commands, go back to my VM, paste it. I'm just going to say -y to accept and install OpenJDK and the font config. So again, it's going to take a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to pause this. Okay, as you can see here, the Java installation has been completed. It took around 18 seconds. So let's check the version. So I'll just do Java -version. And yes, we do have the latest JDK 17 installed. So let's check the status of Jenkins. Okay, so I'll just do systemctl status Jenkins. It still failed, so we need to restart the service. So I'll just do systemctl restart Jenkins. It's going to take a few seconds. Okay, so it took 11 seconds to restart Jenkins. So let me check the status. So now, if you see, the status should be active running, and it's not showing all the logs. So basically, it's going to start the service and it's going to log the things. So if you want to see the complete logs, I can do a quick journal CTL. Okay, so it has, okay, let me just go through all the lines. I should have done -f. So yes, so these are all the logs. And as you can see here, the Jenkins initial setup is triggered. So you need to log in to the Jenkins UI and set up an admin user. And yes, this is the password which you can use in order to set it up. So let's go ahead and log in to Jenkins. So to do that, Jenkins is available on port 8080. So you can access it using the virtual machine's public IP address. So in my case, it is 139.84.159.194, and it will be listening on port 8080. So let me quickly copy this. I'll go to my browser. So let me just try to access this. And yes, so I'm able to access the Jenkins UI. So the first step is, of course, you need to unlock Jenkins. So this is the password which we were able to see in the journal CTL logs. You can also access this at this specific part. So this is the Jenkins home directory in which all the files related to Jenkins are created. So within this var lib Jenkins, you have the secrets folder. Within the secrets, you have the initial admin password. Okay, so I'll just copy this. So, I mean, this is the same password which you see on the screen. So the same thing is also available. So if I do a simple cat var lib Jenkins, so if you see, this is the same password which is displayed in the logs as well. Okay, so you can use that, but before that, I also want to show you the directory structure of the Jenkins home directory. So if I do ls, right, so it's going to, let me do ln. So it's going to show you the config XML, the jobs, plugins, secrets updates, and the users. So these are the various directories and files which come when you install Jenkins. Okay, so for the time being, let's go ahead and complete the initial setup. So let me copy this initial admin password, go back to my browser, paste it, and that's it. So the next step is, it's going to ask you to install the plugins so that you can extend Jenkins with additional features. So we can select different types of plugins. So if you're not sure which plugin you might require, you can just go with the the suggested plugins, which are most useful if you go with the generic Java based projects. But for the time being, I just want to select the plugins which I want to use, because we will be installing the plugins when and where required. So let me select the plugins which I want. So by default, it's going to select around 20 out of the 52 plugins which are available here in the selection options. So I'll just go with none, and I'll select only a few of them to save some time. And it also shows you what is the version of Jenkins which is currently installed. It is 2.462.1, which is the LTS version. Okay, so let me install the dashboard view, and then I'll also install, let me just come down, I'll just select a few things. I'll go with the credential binding option as well. Or no, okay, let me just select the credential binding. SSS using timestamper. Okay, let's go with timestamper. I don't want to use any build tools for the time being. Build analysis also, I think I'll just skip for the time being. In pipelines, yes, I would like to use pipeline, GitHub branch source, pipeline, GitHub Groovy libraries. I'll just go with the pipeline graph view. Let's go with parameterized trigger as well. Let's not go with copy artifacts. We'll manually install it. Within the source code management, I'll go with Git. Okay. And I think I'll just go with, let me see, distributed builds. I don't want to select any of them. User management, no. Notifications will, enable them at a later point. And I think appearances, I'll just go with the darker theme, right? So I think I'm good with this 10 plugins for the time being. So let me just click on install. It's going to take some time for installing. So let me quickly pause the video. Okay, so once the plugins are installed, so the next step is to create the first admin user. So let me just use admin as the username, give a password. And for the full name, I'm just going to use Dasher admin. And for the email address, I'm going to use admin@dasher.com. Okay, so let me save and continue. So let me close this. And you have to give a URL on which Jenkins is reachable. So I'm just going to go with my virtual machine's public IP address and the port number of Jenkins. So this URL is used to provide the root URL for various links which are created in Jenkins. So make sure that you update these settings within Jenkins whenever you update your URL. Okay, so for the time being, I'm just going to go with the default value which got populated and click on save and finish. And that's it. Your Jenkins is ready, and we can go ahead and start using Jenkins. So from the next session onwards, we'll start exploring the UI and see what are the different options we have. That's all for now. Thank you.